Based on the election results, what are the best stocks to buy? With a new administration comes new legislation. With new legislation comes new sector trends. Our goal is to identify what might be the strongest sectors in the time to come. Let's take a quick look back in history. Starting on the day after the election, for 1 year forward, in the year 2000, for example, what were the top performing sectors? Well, the year 2000 was marked by the tech bubble burst. However, two sectors actually performed pretty well, XLB and XLY. The Consumer Discretionary Select Spider Fund, that went up as a result of Economic Growth and Tax Relief Reconciliation Act of '01. That included significant tax cuts that boosted consumer spending. It benefited companies in discretionary sector. We also have the Material Select Spider Fund, XLB. That was helped out by infrastructure spending. Increased government spending on infrastructure projects had driven demand for materials like metal, chemicals, and construction materials. How about 2004? In 2004, we had one sector that provided a lot of great returns. That was XLE. In this particular case, it was the Energy Select Spider Fund. That was helped out by the Energy Policy Act of '05. That addresses energy production and consumption, provides incentives for energy production and infrastructure development. How about 2008? Well, after the market burst, there was a lot of great performance to the upside off the bottom. But in particular, we see gold and silver performed quite well. Why was that? Well, it wasn't only legislation, but macro events. In this particular case, lower interest rates. The Fed cut rates from 5.25 to near zero in just over a year. We also had quantitative easing. In late '08, large-scale purchases of longer-term securities that drastically increased money supply. That helped the metals. How about 2012? In 2012, we saw XPH and XTN perform quite well. What were those? XTN, Select Spider Transportation ETF. That was helped out by the Moving Ahead for Progress in the 21st Century Act. In 2012, legislation provided long-term funding for transportation infrastructure projects. We also have XPH. That was pharmaceuticals. That was helped out by the Affordable Care Act, passed in 2010, but really implemented in 2012 and 13 and increased access to healthcare, boosting demand for pharmaceutical products and services. In 2016, the top performers included XLK, XNTK, XSD. In this particular case, Semiconductor Sector Spider Fund, the Technology Sector Spider Fund, the Technology Select Spider Fund. Creating helpful incentives for producing semiconductors for America Act in 2016. That provided subsidies to support the semiconductor industry. We also have the Internet of Things legislation passed in 2016 that aimed at promoting the development of those technologies. What's coming in the late 24 and 2025 years? Well, we're only a few days out of the election, but so far we see XES, XITK, XME, XSW, and Bitcoin. Those are the top performers of the past couple days. What are those in particular? Oil and gas, innovative technology, metals and mining, and software. Also, of course, Bitcoin. It's still too early to tell. But our goal is to watch very carefully what major pieces of legislation will be passed and track these ETFs to identify what could be the strongest sectors and the strongest trends to develop in the stock market in the time to come. We hope this has been helpful. We look forward to seeing you back soon.